Today we're going to talk about making a list. And in AdvoCare, we don't have to have a lot of income in the beginning to start or a lot of capital. People are our capital. Our relationships that we build, the people that we know already in our lives, and the people that we're about to know in our lives are the thing that makes AdvoCare work the best. And so one thing that we want to train people on today is that 85% of people come from the product side and then evolve maybe over into the business side. 15% of people are going to start out over here on the business side and maybe even want to do the business even before the product. And that's where I came from in my journey with AdvoCare. Is we just had a goal and heard about the business side of AdvoCare, and then as the results came from the product, that just solidified that we wanted to do the business as well. So on this side, what we talk about is the product pipeline, and most people are going to go into a relationship with AdvoCare like this. So just like this right here is a little pipeline. People are going to go into the pipeline on a daily basis and get on our wonderful products. They're going to get product results. It might take 30, 60, or even 90 days for someone to really understand that the products work and that they can share them with other people. A lot of times people ask them, what are you doing? You look better, things like that. And then at the end of this time period, people are going to come out at the very bottom, and they're going to turn into either a wholesale customer, a business builder, possible product user for life, which is really great. The other side over here is, again, like where I said that I came from. I wanted a business opportunity first, and then after hearing about the success people were having, when I tried the product, then it made sense for me. And many people will come over on this side before this side sometimes, and so it's important to have strength in talking about the business side, always planting those seeds, because really I wasn't in any position to buy products at the time. I didn't have a lot of extra income for products, and so I was really looking for the income side first. Okay, so then the second page here that we have is the second concept in that is 30 to find 3. So when we make a list of people, obviously we start out first with that product list. We like to start out with 30 people, with somebody brand new, and we like to have their name and then the why. Why are we thinking about that person? What makes you think about them in regards to the AdvoCare products? Do they need more energy? Have they mentioned weight loss? Do they work out in the gym? Do they have children that are in sports? Whatever conversations in the relationship that we have, those doors open up, and people just naturally, it's easy to position AdvoCare as a solution for them. So that would be a list that we might make here. The second list that we always make is a business list, and this is actually the most important, or we would call this an opportunity list. So maybe someone doesn't necessarily know that they need a business right now. Sometimes the word business can be a little scary, but we talk about earning extra income as a way to solve an issue in their life. So what we like to start out with is maybe 10 people that you know in your life that you've had a financial conversation with. They've told you about they can't afford private school, or they're having a hard time paying for hockey, or there's some debt issues, or they'd like to change careers. Any kind of conversation that involves finances. Those would be people that would go onto our business list. Starting out with maybe about 10 people, and then in those 10 people, there's going to be 3 people that are really what we call your in the trenches buddies. If you had a flat tire in the middle of the night at 2 in the morning, who would you call that would just give you the opportunity to sit down and show them something that you're excited about? And because of your relationship with them, that they would be willing to hear what's going on, and you could possibly even say, I want you to understand why I'm so excited about something I'm going to be doing, and I want you to be part of my support team in that. Whether it's for you or not, it may or may not be. And so we go ahead and star those 3 people that are at the very top of the list because of relationship. And then we always have to start with 1. It all starts with 1. It's the power of 1. So instead of letting 30 be overwhelming to you, or even 10 being overwhelming to you, we have to start out broad and get down to 1. So the 1 person that we're going to start with, and how do we get into contact with that person in 24 hours? That's super important to be able to say, this may or may not be for you, but I want you to hear the story of my friend who's helping me, and to see where you really fit in that process, and if it might be for you, what we could do to help you in your situation. And so these are the different lists that we start out with somebody brand new in our business. And then a lot of people ask me every day, how do you create new markets? What do you do when you run out of people? And really in AdvoCare, you really should never run out of people if you're good at the who do you know game. And that just means always making sure that whatever people do, that you're asking them, who do you know that would also like these products? I say a lot of, my business is based upon referrals, just like a realtor or an insurance agent or any other kind of business like that. And I would love to be able to help your friends and family get the same results that you're getting. Another way that you could put that is who's noticing your results right now. If people are starting to get kind of maybe a weight loss or an energy result, asking them who do they know that is noticing. And sometimes they will say, my coworker has commented that I'm losing weight. And then I always like to say, well, I would love to help your coworker get to know about AdvoCare. Would you allow me an introduction so that I could help them too? And so really getting to know the people in your market list as well, and knowing their lives and becoming very good at developing relationships with people, knowing and trusting them, and them knowing and trusting you, and then also meeting people where they're at so they're not threatened by you, maybe trying to recruit their friends or things like that, but that, when we talk about 4 ways to be involved, that we're really honoring that, and that someone is just a product user, that they will feel comfortable putting you in front of their friends because you are going to meet people where they're at, and that's a super important thing. And then also daily interactions, making sure we are. As a stay-at-home mom, I get to work in my home, which is really great, but I'm still in outside sales. And that means that I have to get out of my front door and I have to make daily interactions with people happen. And so sometimes what I have to do is get real creative about how am I going to get out of my house and go and have an interaction with someone. Sometimes that might be just getting to the grocery store and having a goal each day of I'm going to have an interaction with 5 people. Sometimes that's, it seems like a silly thing, but we really have to push ourselves to even get out and interact with people. And it doesn't necessarily mean an AdvoCare conversation. It just means a smile and a comment about someone's child, or something that you could connect with someone in a cold market situation with, so that those doors open up. And next thing you know, there's a conversation happening where we can find a connection point, and that would lead to someone that might be able to be sampled and go into our product pipeline that over time we could continue to develop relationships with. So I think that's something that people really need to be aware of, is daily interactions with people will lead to your list, that lead to, like we had on our very first page here, we have to be filling this pipeline with people on a very regular, consistent basis. We can't talk to 10 and then for a week not talk to anyone, because this has to be continual, just like water going through a pipe. Otherwise, we're going to have a big gap, maybe a bubble in our pipeline where there's not any momentum happening, and there's no one to invite to a mixer, and there's no one to invite to an impending event. So that's what I have about making a list today.